No, I'm not suggesting you go out and you replace your big custom-built computer with one of these, or even your gaming laptop with one of these. But if you're like me and you don't really see the point of having both a laptop and a tablet and you bought a Surface, is it viable for gaming? Now, there's been plenty of videos showing it playing some games, but I've never really tested it myself, and as I'm about to go on about a 4 or 5 hour plane ride in a couple days, I wanted to bring something with me to play some games. Yeah, I do have the Vita, but there's a couple games on the PC that I'm currently in the middle of, and I want to see, can I take these with me? Can I play them on the plane with an Xbox controller? I mean, I have a USB port, and am I going to have a good experience? Well, let's dive in and find out. Okay, so the first game we're going to take a look at is Dark Souls 2, because let's face it, I'm pretty much always in the middle of a game of Dark Souls 2. So, can I play this on the plane? Let's find out. So here we are at Hyde's Tower of Flame, or Heed's Tower of Flame, Hyde's, whatever it's called. We're at the place with all the green knights, and as you can see, I've cleared a lot of them already, just from playing the game, but I wanted to pick this area because it's a big area, lots of stuff in the background, is very pretty, and I wanted to test out the Surface, and so this is it. This is Dark Souls running at, I want to say 720p? Yeah, I believe it's 720p. On the original Surface Pro, and it seems to be running fairly well. So let's watch for a little bit and see if there's any sort of slowdown happening. Oh, and I should point out the way that I'm recording this is I have an HDMI cable for the Surface, so I'm just kind of running it through an Elgato. So I'm not doing any sort of screen capture on the Surface because that would probably kill the frame rate. But so far so good. There's a little bit of a lag at that point, but nothing really major. They're running through, yeah, everything seems to be smooth. Now, I don't have a frame rate counter or anything going on. It's not that serious of a test. It's really just about playability. Can I have fun with this while I'm on the plane? And I think I can. Little jittering, little hiccups, but overall, it's a lot smoother than I was expecting it to be. Alright, and we'll, where are we going? Well, that's it. That's a look at Dark Souls 2 running on the Surface Pro. Just straight out of the HDMI. So, yeah, seems to work pretty decent. Okay, next up, we're going to take a look at Tomb Raider. Not Rise of the Tomb Raider. I've been holding off buying that on PC because the PS4 version's coming out in a little bit. Well, I'll say a little bit, end of the year. But I've already played through it on the Xbox 360, so I've been debating getting on the PC now, playing it through again, and then getting it again on the PS4. I'm probably just going to hold off. So here's the first Tomb Raider that came out. Let's see how well it did. So here's a little bit of a hectic area of Tomb Raider right towards the beginning of the game. Really give the Surface Pro a good test. And I let the game itself detect the hardware and do its default settings, and it's got pretty much everything at low to medium, and then it had the resolution at I think it was like 1366 by 768, and I said no, we're going to drop this down to 720, because really on a screen this small you're not going to see the difference between 720 and 766, and I'm sorry, 768. And I want to give it just a little bit of a better edge to try to make everything nice and smooth. But it seems to run fine. It really looks good. It looks a lot better than I was expecting. Very similar to the 360 version, if not a little bit better. But let's watch it for a little bit through these hectic areas. And then also, after we watch it for around, say, about 15 or so seconds just to see how it does, I did run the benchmarking tool so we can see what type of frames per second this game is actually getting. Oh, there's a little bit of a stutter there. That may also be caused by the fact that I'm running this off of expanded memory. So all my Steam games are being ran off of an SD card. So that hiccup there, I don't know if that was due to graphics or if that was due to being ran off of an SD card. But still, if we're running off of an SD card, it's running pretty well. And here we are running the old benchmark test, the built-in test. Again, default graphic settings, except I bumped it down to 720p. And it seems to be running pretty well. Obviously, I know the results of this test as I recorded this prior, but I'm gonna act surprised when I see it. Oh wow, look at that, average of 29.7. Who saw that coming? Actually, I was quite impressed by that. So it hovers right around 30 frames per second on the Surface with its default settings that it did. But perfectly playable and very nice. So I'm probably going to end up playing this on the plane a little bit. And of course, the game that you have to test everything with, will it run Crysis? Well, you tell me. Yes. Yes, it will run Crysis, and once again, I let the software just kind of check out my my old hardware on the Surface Pro and do its thing. So it runs. It doesn't run the best, but it runs. It is. You know what? I'm gonna say it's playable. As you can see in the recording, there's quite a bit of screen tearing going on. That actually wasn't noticeable on the Surface when I was playing it. So in that regard, the screen tearing really isn't an issue, and the game performed pretty well. It looked good. Really nothing really to say. It doesn't look near as good as it does on a purpose-built desktop computer, or even a gaming laptop, but it's playable. But, whatevs, it's Crysis. It did it. Yay. Score 1 for the Surface. Well, there you have it. 3 games that actually ran fairly decently on the system. Now, I'm actually probably not going to play Crysis on the airplane. I just wanted to throw that in there because that is the typical game. But for Tomb Raider and Dark Souls, it actually seemed to perform pretty well. Dark Souls, I think, was a little laggy, but only in parts. What I showed you was just a small snippet of what I actually played. I actually played quite a bit of it. And there's a couple parts where things can get a little hairy, but overall it worked really well. And Tomb Raider, it seemed to work out great pretty much the entire time. So, is it a viable gaming machine? Actually, yeah, it seems to be. Again, I wouldn't replace a gaming laptop with it or buy it to be a gaming laptop. But if you have one and you want to play some games on the go and you realize they're going to take a graphical hit, hell, seems to work out just fine. So hey, if you liked the video, please like it, maybe subscribe, and give me some comments. If you didn't like it, hey, that's cool too. But I'll catch you next time. Have a great day. Thanks again for watching.